January is here, so I was thinking that one of the things that I need to work on in general are mock-ups and patterns because I don't tend to use them. I tend to use all the clothes or I just put it on 1,000 times. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel that at least some patterns it would be useful to have, just to have an idea of the amount of fabric that I might need. So I'm gonna work on that. And because I have to do a side project, I'm going to do a mock-up for that one. And then I'm going to work on that. It should be a one-day project, hopefully. And yeah, I want to try to use that to get into the mindset of, first of all, having a pattern to follow, but also do a simple project that kind of gets me going. Because, well, in respect to the other projects, the two main projects that I'm working on, as in I'm thinking about, I already did a couple of things, but I need to explain it to you. But also, I need to figure out how to go on because, like I said, I want to do videos for the vlog, but also want to do a separate video explaining to you as I go. And because of that, I need to kind of write down the ideas of how to proceed for each thing. But the ideas are there, the things are hanging, so I can see them. I remember that I have to do them. So yeah, I just need to figure that out. And then there's the picnic, which I also would feel really excited to begin because I've been gathering a lot of stuff that could be useful. But for doing that, I need to first make some decision in regards to what is the final design that I want, or at least the basic things that I really, really want. And then I need to do the scaling. And so I need to, in regards to the whole size of the booklet, I need to figure out how will human fit that, and based on that I need to do all of the things. So the scaling part, because I've never done that, I need to kind of figure out. But besides that, it's going. I mean, I have the things, and yeah, I have the ideas. So this is January. Let's go. It's lovely. Whenever I want to do stuff, I actually get up, finally do it, and then the universe is like, no. So I wanted to use the sewing machine, however, the lamp, the light went off. And I've been working without it because I don't particularly care. However, because I want to place it in a different way, I need the light. So I finally took it out, and I actually bought a change a while ago. It was the wrong one. So then I was like, no, let's use this moment, let's go for it. I got it on the internet and arrived. It was again the wrong one. So at the moment, the sewing machine is there, just waiting for it to be changed. So in the meantime, I said, okay, let's still do something. So I actually had to do a little bit of maintenance. That's what I like to call it. So this is my beauty for when you travel, and it's a really old thing, but it's really good, so I still use it. For example, this is metal and it got a little bit ruined, so I just painted it black, but now I need to pass it again because a little bit has fallen off. And the things here on the closing, on the zipper, have fallen down, but it broke fully, so I couldn't just attach something. So I decided to do something that now I have to do on the other one, which is I added this, I don't know how, what's the name of this? I don't remember it. Well, it's one of those paste things that you can mold around it, and then when it dries, it stays there, because it's what I did on this side. As you can see, it has some green in it because it was green, but then I painted it black, and it's what I'm going to do. With this one, I just need to kind of figure out how to put it, and then I need to let it dry. So that's something. And on a similar note, I had to do it with this mini fridge that I have, because this thing fell down and I have no memory where I put them. So I decided to just do something else. So as you can see here, because it didn't break, I could just add one of these hoops, a big one, and then I decided to add this thingies from a Manon necklace because it's still in theme, you know, blue, dark blue and white, navy blue and white, so fully does the job, and at least that way it's functional. In other news, there's a an application that I like to use. You can use it on an app, so on the tablet or phone, or also on the computer. It's called Planner 5D, and it's really good because it's basically like The Sims, but it doesn't overcharge the computer, at least not as much as the game itself. But also, it's very useful for real stuff because you can do all of the measurements. And what's so lovely about it is that I like to play with that in general, but what I did was to create a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to do. And as you can see, first floor, because I actually want 2 floors, and this is the 2D version of it, but you can also turn it 3D. Okay, now that it charged all of the objects, that's a bit of an idea. I'm not planning to do this straight up. I just took some of the things that I like, a little bit of the organization, and I just plan to follow this as a baseline. Of course, everything else depends on many other things, but this is a very lovely way to just keep it there, have an idea of the distances, the measurements. Again, you can do the exact measurements, so it's really helpful also to see how it all works together. So now that I have a better idea, and now that I have got a lot of materials, maybe too many, I need to begin. And I feel that the first base is to do a strong base. So the cardboard, I need to do a floor, and because I want a second floor, I need to figure out how to do that, because it still needs to, you know, be well done in order for all of the things that I'm going to put on to stay in a nice place. And not that I plan to add a lot of things, a lot of weight, but still. So yeah. Let's talk about first the obvious. I'm in the corner of the room because I decided that I wanted to create a space just for me to do things that doesn't involve the other table, because one, it might get ruined, but two, because this way, that one I move quite a lot. In this case, however, everything is here, and then by adding the lights I have the extra light that allows me to work in different times of the day. So I wanted to create this corner. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I've been working on, again, the things for my book nook, all of the tiny materials. I already took out some things like glass or heavy metals because I don't particularly think that I want to work with those, and also they might be too heavy. So I took that out, and this is what I think could be very useful. And here down I have some cardboard of different colors and lengths and thickness, because again, that might come useful. And yeah, now that I have this, I have an idea, I want to start working on this, and I'm actually quite excited. I'm even worried because I need to make certain decisions for the base that I need to make now before I get into it. For example, I want to add some windows, but the question is where? There's the other aspect of, here you put the book nook like this should be the front part, right? But the idea is that you open it. Now I need to figure out how to do it. I need to think about, okay, do I want to do a full opening? Do I just kind of cut it here, so I just do a half of the wall that opens? You know, I need to figure out those things out, and then I need to reinforce it, because of course, being a box, it has openings that I shouldn't need. So I need to close this, also here at the base, reinforce it, again doing the openings. And I also need to figure out how to do the second floor, because I don't know if I show you, I should have. In my plan, I have a second floor that, as you can see here, is in the middle, and I should add it in this area. But I need to figure out how to do it without adding too much, do it right. I don't want to waste materials. That's kind of the thing that is making me really think things through, is that I don't want to waste anything, and I want to do things right. So that might be one of the reasons why it's taking me a little bit long, is that I'm a little bit afraid of maybe ruining it, but I also feel that I need to just do it. So yeah, we need to figure that out. The other thing that I made was this. These are 2 tiny humanoid figures that, here's the thing, I struggle with the numbers. They can be really overwhelming to me.
So I figured if I make the humans that fit in here, then I can use this in order to measure the things that I'm making, because otherwise, again, it can be a bit overwhelming. So yeah, I made this too, and as you can see, here is the second floor. They make sense, right? I mean, here in Europe, for example, the walls are very tall, so I would say that they fit quite nicely. One of them already died, great. So, first floor, second floor. You know what I mean? So, hopefully, this is going to help me a little bit more with dimensions. And yeah, again, I think in many ways I'm procrastinating because I'm afraid of ruining it, but also having so many things I want to start working on them, and also I have a lot of other materials that I've been wanting to use, and I think this could be a lovely place. So yeah.
It might be just me, which is completely fair, but when you're neurodivergent, one of the huge issues that you have sometimes it's to find the time and place to do something. Because especially if there are things that are fun and they're not tiring, I can do them for a long, long time. And often not, I need to do them like that. Because the idea of me just sitting for 20 minutes, even an hour, to do one thing and then having to stop, it's weird. That's wild to me. Because when I'm having fun doing something, I want to keep going. I don't want to stop it because just starting the task is quite hard for me. Unless I know the amount that I can kind of comprehend that, yes, I can just take and go a little bit. When I'm hand sewing something, I can do that. So I can just have it there, and whenever I have the chance, I just sit down and do some stitches. And if it's not over, it's fine. But if I can finish it, it's fine as well. Because when hand sewing, an issue is that it gets a little bit tiring. The embroidery project, for example, that kind of stopped me for a bit because it genuinely kind of hurts your hand after a while. But with the book nook, that's an activity that I quite enjoy, which means that I need to sit down in the lovely corner and do and create. But it's really hard, especially right now, for me to do that because not only there are other things that I have to do, but I feel guilty because I'm like, I mean, I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that, but that what that makes, on the other hand, is that I don't even begin. Bit of an issue. But I just want to, say it because it's something that happens to me. I don't know if anybody watching has the same experience, but it is kind of hard to find that balance between it. And also because I don't have the most great moment mentally right now, that also doesn't help. So, yes, it is the end of the month, and I did a 180, so everything's going to change. Let me show you something. Yeah, well, those are the projects that I'm going to be working on for the next couple of months. There's an extra one that should be easy. We'll see. There's a couple of things that I need to work on, but it has been already there, and it shouldn't take more time. But the point is, I changed my mind with the projects that I was working on because I wasn't feeling the vibe. I had some ideas, and it wasn't going bad, but I did not have the feeling of excitement that when I work on a project I can get. Of being like, oh, this is like nice, and you put it in like, oh, that's so cool, I could add here, and oh, I'm excited to be working on it. That wasn't happening, and because I'm already struggling with doing some stuff, well, it didn't feel great. With the book nook, for example, there's a whole issue that I want to sit down and have a lot of time to work on things, and I haven't had the time to do it. But I do feel guilty because I want to work on it, but I don't have the time. So it was getting a bit overwhelmed. Plus that project again. So I decided, let's give me a couple of days because, yeah, it feels like that. And in the meantime, the dates for the Celtic Festival of this year came out, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could use that. It worked last year. Why can I not try it this year as well? And that's what I'm going to do. So what I did was that I took out all of the things that I really wanted to bring with me because I absolutely am going to go to that festival. And I put them all there.
and I added a couple of things I already was feeling that I wanted to bring. So I created a six, absolutely no doubt, six costumes, outfits, whatever you want to call it, that I want to take with me and I want to use for that festival. No doubts. And then there's two extra things, but let's start with the six because the six are made of some things that are already done. While last year I made a lot of things from scratch, and also because I had other projects that were connecting to it, I kind of blended it all. One thing came and the other also added. It was a bit different as the vibes, but this time around there's a couple of things that I absolutely want to take with me, and I decided that that's going to be the base. I'm going to try to make them work. So, for example, there's a shirt that I made last year that I wasn't able to take with me because I didn't find an outfit for it. I don't care. I will find an outfit and a way to wear that shirt no matter what. And so that is one of the outfits. There's also the things that I did for last year or that I already used, but I don't care. Some of them that needs to do some revamping. I need to do some work, some rechanging things because last year was my first experience in the festival. So now that I know how it is, I can also make some decisions in regards to what makes me more comfortable, what in regards to the environment works better. And so that changes the dynamic a little bit. But that makes me excited. And that's the thing. Already with that, in front of me, it came out so easy to take everything out and to start playing and be like, oh, this, oh, this. And then on the computer, I like to do folders with each project and put in all of the pictures that I'm thinking about it, a mood board for each project. And that's something that is make me happy because that's the whole point of creating is the whole seeing things and being like, oh, I like this, and maybe I could add this, and then I have what I have, and I melt everything together, and I have the mood board, but I have also the materials. That's the feeling that I was missing, that I was not having with the other ones. So by now, I feel that yes, this is the way to go. So those six, absolutely, you're going to see them. I'm going to be just again adding some stuff. I do have to make some things from scratch because I didn't find anything that I already own that I have that works. But for the most part, I don't think I need to build as much as I had to do for last year. Having said that, I might change my mind. I might push it on and be like, oh, I could add this. So I'm not promising that. I'm just saying I have the basis. And then there's the extra two projects. The extra two, now one of them, I actually had already decided that I wanted to work on. But I was again finding a couple of issues here and there with the fabrics that I had, with the things that I thought I could work on, but then I found out, I don't think this is going to work. And I sort of put it aside for a little bit, but then I got something. I didn't got it, I didn't pay for it. I was given something that made me go, boom, this is it. This made me excited again about that project. So I'm actually quite excited because I think it could look lovely. And so that's a bit of an extra separated thing that I already decided to. It doesn't, I guess you could say it kind of vibes with the whole festival, but it's also very on its own. We'll see. And then the extra project that is more related with the festival, but it's not a I have to do project. That's one of the main things that I want to underline about that one, because as much as I want to do it, and I thought it could be a lovely opportunity that if I do finish it, I could take it to the festival. It could be really fun. It's something that I've been thinking about for ages to do. It would allow me to play with different materials, to do things a little bit different. As much as all of that, which is lovely, I do know that because of all of that, it could take longer and it could not come out great. Because the last time I did something like that was a long time ago and it wasn't that great. So I'm just saying I do want to work on the idea. I do have some things that I know they could work, but we'll see what happens. If it goes, that's great. But if after I finish everything, I see it and I don't feel fairly comfortable, it's fine because I do have my basis. I do have the things that I absolutely wanted. I have my priorities, and that one, we'll see. We'll see how it works. And for all of them, absolutely all of them, well, no, I don't know if all of them because some of them is just an outfit. I don't really need to work on creating something specific, but again, who knows? But for most of them, I do plan of making in a specific video, whether that is a 5-minute video or a 25-minute video, because I do feel that as much as I can show it to you as I go, because there's so many, I rather just give them their own time for me to explain all of the technicalities, all of the process of me doing it. Of course, in here in this monthly blog, I'm going to show you some things, but on that, I'm going to go a bit more in depth. And then maybe, of course, I might do like Lexia and just do a whole fashion show. But because I do all of the separate videos, it can come a little bit easier for me to explain to you some things. I have no idea if that was clear enough. We'll see. We'll see what the next months have for us. In the meantime, I hope your month of January went well. Even if you did a 180, a 360, it doesn't matter. I hope you felt creative, and I hope you're going to feel creative. I hope you have a lovely month, and I hope your month of February goes well. So, see you at the end of the next one.